quite a while back, the engine started being rough when cold, so it would shake. The first 10 minutes or so, it was fine at idle revs, fine until you come out of the yard. As soon as you change to second gear, it would start shaking, even shake the steering wheel. It just felt like it was shaking all over the place. But then driving a bit, after about 10-15 minutes, when the engine got warm, it stopped. Worked perfectly fine, full acceleration, everything. So it felt like an injector may have not been firing. Tested an injectors, ordered one, took them all out, cleaned them, changed one of the injectors because as I was taking them out, one of them was stuck, so I had to get a kit to get a stuck injector out and all that. It was quite a difficult job. Changed it, only mildly improved, and then back to what it was doing. I changed the mass airflow filter, which I thought could be the problem. I tried to clean the EGR valve, and I thought that was the problem. So at some point I bought an EGR blocking plate to delete the EGR. I installed that and didn't solve the problem, but round about the same time I put a DPF cleaner in the fuel, and then the problem got sorted. Of course I had a light on the dash because the car detects that you deleted the EGR, doesn't get enough pressure. So one thing about the EGR valve deleting was that I was getting insane fuel mileage. So I usually get round about 45, 48 when it's doing well on a long stretch. I was now getting over in the 50s, 55 or so. So all that gas being put back in the engine is just basically using your fuel to burn their emissions. So I decided to take it to the mechanic because it was still started doing it. And I thought it's not that really. So before taking it to the mechanic, I took the EGR plate out. So as I was going to the mechanic, typically it stopped doing the problem on the way there. I left the car with the mechanic thinking, oh, it'll get cold again. And he left it, tested it, charged me £50 for diagnostics and all that, keeping it there all day. And he says it didn't do it. So it's cars being evil for you. As soon as you take it to the mechanic, the fault doesn't come. I mean, that fault was there for months. So I believe what it is the DPF filter being clogged, getting clogged and not regenerating. So I still have a tin of DPF cleaner from another car, another job. So I have a brand new tin, and I am going to do that. I watched a tutorial on YouTube. I'm going to do that, and then I'm going to show you if it's fixed the problem. I think it might. I thought to make another video, and hopefully if I get to the bottom of this problem, it can help a lot of people. So here it is. This is what I've got. I've got DPF cleaner of this type, and these were the instructions of what you had to do. So I'm going to open the sensor here, and I'm going to squeeze the can in there. It says 3 to 5 times, let it soak, and keep doing it until you finish the can, and then run it for at least 15 minutes. And then I've got a long trip of about half an hour, and I'm going to drive and keep the revs about 2,500 the whole way there, and hopefully clear it out. So it seems that with the whole can it kind of filled inside there. It's all done. So yeah, I'm gonna clean the end of this with EGR valve cleaner. So this is what I've got, and it cleaned the sensor incredibly well, like took all the stuff off immediately. So yeah, reinstalling now. So the engine hiccuped a little bit when I first started it, probably pushing all that fluid through. There's vapor coming out after about 5 minutes or so of running, starting to smell. That I remember that smell from when I did it on the other car. So yeah, something's happening. So after I put the DPF fluid, I drove. I had a trip to make, about 25 minutes, and I drove it in 4th gear, basically about 2,800 revs for about half an hour there, half an hour back. The next morning the engine was still running rough when starting from complete cold, and it was still shaking and doing its thing a little bit. So I'm not saying it didn't work at all, but there was maybe a slight improvement, but it was still doing it. This is what fixed it the first time when I took it to the mechanic, and then later it returned. But this is what I used that time. So I got another couple of bottles of this the morning after, when I still experienced that rough running. I put that into a tank of fuel, and we were on holiday. I drove about 400 miles in total, and the very next day after using this, it stopped doing it completely. When I refilled again, I put another bottle in, and I have another spare, and I may just have to put this in every now and then to keep the DPF clean. But yes, so it has been fixed, and this has helped. I'm not sure on the other method on putting the DPF cleaner in. I did have a bit of smoke one day, and so it could have had an effect. It cleaned things out. This is what the instructions are saying. You can pause it and read it if you want. That's my conclusion. So I'm happy to say it got sorted, and that's what it was. It was the DPF. It was none of the other things that I spent money on. And of course, as I said, no codes in the vehicle. Very, very strange symptoms. Thanks for watching, and see you next time.